Apple's iPhone SE has always been a bit of an oddball in the company's lineup, starting with its original debut back in 2016. The idea behind the SE was simple: offer the essential iPhone experience, but at a much lower price point. It was a clever strategy, and it worked. The SE concept has stuck around for 8 years now, with Apple releasing 2 more generations since then. And now, in early 2025, the iPhone SE4 is expected to hit the shelves, and from what we're hearing, it's shaping up to be a major leap forward in terms of hardware and design. But the real question is, how does this new SE4 stack up against the iPhone 16, the flagship phone everyone's buzzing about? To start, let's talk about design. The last couple of iPhone SE models, particularly the 2022 version, felt a little, well, outdated. The SEs were based on the iPhone 8's design, which just didn't match up to the more modern look of newer iPhones. But now it seems like Apple's finally giving the SE a design overhaul that will make it feel more in line with today's phones. Rumor has it that the iPhone SE4 will take its cues from the iPhone XR, but in a more compact form. Some leaks even suggest it could resemble the iPhone 14 with flat sides and a smaller notch. In contrast, the iPhone 16 has a more refined design, with a pill-shaped camera bump that's reminiscent of the iPhone X but larger. So, while the iPhone 16's design is pretty much a known quantity at this point, the iPhone SE4 is definitely shaking things up with a fresh look. Let's talk displays, because this is another area where the iPhone SE4 could really impress. The iPhone SE 2022 still used an LCD panel, which was starting to feel pretty dated by 2023 standards. But for 2025, Apple's expected to give the SE4 an OLED display, a major upgrade. The catch? It'll likely stick with a 60Hz refresh rate, the same as the iPhone 16. Why? Apple probably doesn't want to risk cannibalizing iPhone 16 sales by offering a faster screen. Still, an OLED display would be a big win for the SE, even if it doesn't push the refresh rate higher. The iPhone 16, meanwhile, has a 60Hz OLED screen, but it's not exactly the brightest panel out there, based on early reviews. We're looking forward to testing both screens to see how they actually compare side by side. One of the big shifts with the iPhone SE4 is that it'll most likely ditch Touch ID for Face ID. The SE 2022 was the last iPhone to hang onto that beloved fingerprint sensor, but it seems like the future is all about facial recognition. And while some folks were hoping Apple would bring Touch ID back in some form, maybe via the camera control button, that's not going to happen. The SE4 will get Face ID, just like the iPhone 16, so this is a big step forward in terms of biometrics. But here's where things get really interesting. The iPhone SE4 is rumored to be packing the same powerful A18 chip that's found in the iPhone 16 series. That means the SE4 could have some serious muscle under the hood, making it one of the fastest, budget-friendly phones out there. Plus, it's expected to come with 8 gigs of RAM to support Apple's A features, including the new Apple Intelligence that's expected to debut with iOS 18.1. Apple's been slowly rolling out this new A framework, and by 2025, it should be in full swing. This makes the iPhone SE4 a future-proof device that'll stay fast and relevant for a long time, maybe even taking some wind out of the sails of the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus. Now, onto the camera situation. Remember when iPhones used to just have a single camera? The iPhone SE4 will be keeping it simple with just one lens, but don't let that fool you. This single camera is rumored to be the same 48 megapixels wide-angle sensor found in the iPhone 15, with the ability to snap both 24 megapixels default images and full 48 megapixels photos. The iPhone 16 has pretty much the same sensor and optics, but it's paired with Apple's Fusion camera system, which offers 2x optical zoom through cropping. It'll be interesting to see how these two cameras compare, since the SE4's single camera might just give the iPhone 16 a run for its money, especially considering how close they are in terms of megapixels. Battery life is another area where the iPhone SE4 could see some improvement. The last couple of SE models were criticized for having small batteries that couldn't quite keep up with the performance. But with a bigger screen and more powerful internals, the SE4 is expected to pack a larger 3279 mAh battery, not too far behind the iPhone 16's 3581 mAh battery. It'll be interesting to see how that 300 mAh difference plays out in real-world usage. However, don't expect Apple to make much progress in terms of charging speed. The iPhone 16 supports 25 watts wired charging, and rumors suggest the SE4 will follow suit. As for wireless charging, it's unclear whether the SE4 will support MagSafe at the very least. So, how does the iPhone SE4 stack up against the iPhone 16 overall? Well, the two phones are shaping up to be incredibly similar in terms of size, display, performance, camera, and charging. The SE4 might have a slightly smaller battery, but with the same chip and AI features as the iPhone 16, the differences between the two might be pretty minimal. If the rumors hold true, the SE4 will offer almost the same experience as the iPhone 16, but for a significantly lower price. At $499, the iPhone SE4 could be a game changer, and it might even make the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus seem a bit overpriced. Of course, we'll have to wait and see how things play out once the SE4 is officially released, but this is shaping up to be one of the most interesting iPhone comparisons in years. So stay tuned to our channel for the full comparison once the iPhone SE4 drops, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, take care.